Hey guys, this is Brian Mounts at RentTurfMechanic.com and the channel you're watching. Today, I finally got to use my Greenworks Pro 80 volt battery powered 22-inch snowblower. This is the biggest battery powered snowblower that Greenworks Pro makes. Back in November, about a month ago, I'll link to it down in the description below, I posted an unboxing video and kind of the assembly for this unit. I wanted to have it available for when snow actually came, but it seriously took me a month to be able to use it. And even still, I've only got about 3 inches of snow out there. Hey, I bought the machine, that's why it didn't snow. In any event, I assume that you're watching this video because you're looking for snow blowers. There are other battery-powered snowblowers on the market. There are most of the battery-powered snowblowers on the market are single-stage snowblowers. This is a single-stage snowblower. Ego makes a dual-stage snowblower. That's the one that people think of the most when they think of battery-powered two-stage snowblowers. But this one uses the battery for the lawnmower that I use throughout the summer, spring, fall, all of the grass growing season. I really like the lawnmower, so I wanted to try out their best snowblower because I didn't have to buy an extra battery. This thing didn't cost me very much at all, simply because I didn't have to buy a battery for it, which is a pretty good deal in my opinion. With that said, I haven't tested it out until today, so I'm going to show you some footage of me using this morning, and then I'm just going to do a little voiceover where I kind of talk about the features and what I was thinking about while I was using it. This is just first impressions, this is not a review, and it's obviously not a comparison to anything else because this is the only unit that I have in my garage, at least for the time being. I hope you find this video interesting and entertaining and helpful, so let's get to the real footage and my commentary on it. All right, as I just said, there's about 3 inches of snow out there. In certain areas there's more like 4, in certain areas there's 2. You can see the spot that my wife's car was parked in earlier this morning before she had to head out to work. This is really cool. This little lever there on the right allows you to turn the chute pretty much 180 degrees from left to front to right. So the way that I'm using this is I'm going forward, pushing all of the snow to the right. This is towards the down side of our hill, toward the downside of our driveway. This is the on button. It's like this on a lot of lawnmowers too. You have to push that on button, and then you pull the lever back to turn the machine on. I found this to be pretty easy to use. Now, granted, I'm only going through about 3 inches of snow, but I'm not having to push it hard. It's just kind of going, even though it's got these tiny little wheels. Some of the other snow blowers out there, even the battery ones, have much better wheels. I was curious if those wheels were going to be a problem, but I did not notice a problem during my entire blowing session here, during my entire snow blowing session, I should say. This is the chute up close. You've got this manual. You can grab it up front and point it up high or low. If you're pointing it low, it's, I don't know. If you're pointing it low, it goes straight out just like that. So it's not going to go that far unless the wind is helping it along. Here underneath you get this this auger. I don't know if the auger is the right way to call it, but it's the actual like blades that grab the snow. They are flexible but very sturdy, but they're not particularly large. And then the whole thing is set on these little sliders that you see there. The little sliders pick the whole machine up off the ground. In my opinion, only using this once, that's why you see a whole bunch of snow that I'm still walking on right there. No matter how you turn the machine like that, the blades never hit the ground when those sliders are on. So the instructions tell you to put the sliders on, and they call them like a scratch guard. I can't remember exactly how they refer to them in the manual. But the next time it snows out here, I'm going to be pulling those sliders off. That way the machine actually gets closer to the ground. I feel like it would do better. It might damage the blade there a little bit more, but I just think it would pick up the sliders more. And also, you get this little scraper here. That thing doesn't touch the ground with those sliders on. Of course, it will get damaged if it's actually sliding across the ground, but it's replaceable, as you saw the bolts there. If you go to the Greenworks Pro website, you can actually find all the replacement parts list. That little scraper on the bottom is one of the parts that you can replace, and it looks like it's pretty easy to replace. Thing is, with the sliders on the ground, it's not actually touching the ground at all. I guess it's hitting ice. The battery, so the battery on this thing, this is why I bought this machine. The Greenworks Pro lawnmower uses that 80-volt battery, and it is the strongest battery mower that I have tested this year. I tested 7 mowers this year, all of them high voltage things. The battery comes in and out easily. You got storage for a backup while you're going. The battery is crazy strong, and it's a high voltage thing. I think from using it here in just this 3 inches of snow, it did seem to perform really well when I got into the thicker, let's call it the 4-inch patches. I honestly felt like it did better in the 4-inch patches than it did in the 2-inch patches. You see the blade spins hard, and the camera doesn't quite capture it well, probably because of a frame rate thing, but it is spinning very fast. But it's just not a wide blade, so it's not tall. I'm not sure how well this thing is going to do once the snow gets to, let's say, 8, 9, 10 inches. But certainly it does perform very well in that 4-inch range, and my guess is probably in that 4 to 6-inch range. Anything under 3 inches is probably just best to scrape it with a shovel. That's what I would have done had I not owned this machine. In this situation, 3 inches isn't that big of a deal for shovel snow removal. I really like the fact that you can turn that chute from left to right. Like, you see me doing this a lot in the video. I mean, this is almost like a vacuum cleaner. It does seem to throw the snow better straight forward than if I turn it 90 degrees to the left or the right. And I have a feeling that that's because it's a single stage blower instead of a dual stage. I think this is probably the biggest perk of the dual stage blower, is you can really throw the snow to the sides much better and further with a dual stage. Being a single stage, that scooper picks the snow up and it throws it up into the chute, but then the chute turns the direction on it, and it kind of takes away some of the momentum of the snow. You can see after 8 or so minutes of blowing 3-inch snow, I've got a pretty good amount of accumulation on the machine. And again, there's still probably a good 1/2 inch or so on the ground. And I think that's just because I have those sliders on. I'd really like to try this again without the sliders. Anyway, that's it for my first impressions. I guess what I didn't say in the previous segment is this machine is very quiet. Like, I'm amazed at how quiet it was. I have a feeling that this is going to do pretty good through another few inches of snow. I really don't know how deep it will perform well until I see, 12 inches here on the ground. I'll give it a try once I see that here at the house. But I have a feeling that this is going to do well for another handful of inches more. I love how quiet it is. Like, we're talking, I cleared this area this morning. I was outside for about 9 minutes. I didn't break a sweat. As you can see, where I cleared, it's basically melted off. Where I didn't clear, it's not. Now we're up to about 35 degrees right now. So in the next couple days or so, everything else will melt itself away. But man, this machine does make it a lot easier, and it's clears the whole thing much faster. Certainly there are better blowers out there. They cost more though. This thing doesn't cost all that much, especially if you are using the battery for your mower or your blower. I have other videos on those things. Make sure to look in the description below for links to those. For a battery powered system, this machine is a nice addition to that Greenworks Pro 80 volt system. Follow along, hit the subscribe button. At some point, we're definitely going to get a deep snow, and I'm going to run this again and see how it performs in that, you know, that snow that's like 12 to 15 inches deep. And, you know, maybe it won't perform at all. I don't know. I don't know until I try. Hit the subscribe button and take a look at that video when it comes out. Thank you for watching. If you found this video interesting, go ahead and hit that like button, and drop a comment down below if you've got any questions about the Greenworks Pro 80 volt, because it's in my garage all the time and I ain't got nothing else to do this winter.